It was the middle of a cold Canadian evening when fate stepped in. The wind was sharp, cutting through the streets, and people rushed past each other, lost in their own worlds. But for Emma, the night felt heavier than just the chill. Her hands trembled as she sat on a park bench, clutching her thin sweater tightly. She had missed her bus, her phone had died, and with nowhere to go until the next ride, she sat shivering, trying not to cry. That's when he appeared, Daniel, a man who carried both strength and weariness in his eyes. He was holding his little girl's hand, walking home after a long day. Daniel noticed her right away. Something about the way she was hugging herself, silently enduring the cold, reminded him of moments he had lived through himself, moments of helplessness after his wife passed away, leaving him to raise their daughter alone. Without a second thought, he stopped in front of her. "You're freezing," he said gently, his voice carrying both concern and kindness. Before Emma could even respond, he slipped off his jacket and draped it around her shoulders. It was warm, smelled faintly of laundry soap and a hint of coffee, and for the first time in hours, Emma felt safe. Emma looked up at him, her eyes wide with surprise. No one had shown her kindness in a long time. She had been battling her own storms, moving to a new city, trying to find stable work, and facing the loneliness of having no family nearby. The jacket wasn't just fabric against her skin, it was a reminder that good people still existed. She managed a soft thank you, but Daniel just smiled and shook his head as if it was nothing. His daughter tugged at his hand and whispered, "Daddy, she looks sad." Emma's heart almost broke at the innocence of the little girl noticing her pain. They shared a short conversation, simple at first. He asked if she was waiting for someone, and she admitted she had missed her bus. Instead of leaving her there, he offered to wait with her. Emma hesitated, wary of trusting strangers, but there was something about Daniel, his protective presence, the way he looked at his daughter with love, that made her feel she wasn't in danger. They sat together on the bench, his daughter leaning against his side, giggling occasionally, while Daniel kept glancing at Emma, as though making sure she was truly okay. As the minutes passed, Emma opened up. She told him about her struggles, how hard it was to keep going when life kept pushing her down. Daniel listened quietly, his own memories of sleepless nights and broken hopes flashing back. When his wife died, everyone told him to stay strong, but no one asked how he really felt. Tonight, hearing Emma's words, he understood her pain deeply. He shared his story too, not in a way to impress her, but in honesty. How he had been forced to grow, to raise his little girl alone, and how every day was a mix of exhaustion and gratitude. Something shifted between them in that moment. Emma wasn't just talking to a stranger anymore, she was talking to someone who truly understood what it meant to feel lost yet keep moving. She found herself drawn to his quiet strength, the way his eyes softened when he smiled, and the gentle way he held his daughter's hand. In Daniel, he noticed the way Emma's spirit flickered like a candle in the wind, fragile yet refusing to be extinguished. He realized that offering her his jacket wasn't enough. Somehow, he wanted to protect her heart too. The bus finally arrived, its headlights breaking the silence of the street. Emma stood up reluctantly, handing him back his jacket, but he refused. "Keep it," he said. "You'll need it more than me tonight." She wanted to argue, but the sincerity in his eyes left no room for it. She slipped it back on, her throat tight with emotion. As she stepped onto the bus, his daughter waved cheerfully, and Daniel gave a small nod as if to say, "Take care." Emma sat by the window, watching him until the bus pulled away. Her chest ached with a strange mix of gratitude and longing. She didn't just want his jacket anymore, she wanted the comfort of his presence, the steadiness of his heart. And for Daniel, as he walked home with his daughter, he couldn't shake the image of her, alone, yet brave, and how her smile, faint as it was, had brought warmth to his own tired soul. That night, they both lay awake, miles apart but thinking of the same thing, how a simple act of kindness could stir something much deeper. In a world that often feels cold and unkind, sometimes love begins with nothing more than a jacket offered on a freezing night. And sometimes, if you're lucky, it grows into something that warms the heart forever. Would you like me to expand this into a slightly longer version with more detailed dialogue and emotions so it perfectly fills a 4-minute YouTube narration?